Assalamu alaikum. This is Btv Chattogram welcoming you all to the English news from Bangladesh Television Chattogram Center. Let's begin with the headlines. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus witnesses maneuver exercise of Infantry Brigade at Rajbari Military Training Area. Election Commission committed to ensuring free, fair, transparent, and impartial election to bring back people's voting rights, says Chief Election Commissioner. Interim government determined to create investment-friendly environment to attract foreign investments, says Foreign Advisor Muhammad Tawhid Hussain. Media Reform Commission to commend for addressing compensation of the journalists suffered due to party reasons and face harassment cases. U.S. President Joe Biden proposes $8 billion arms sale for Israel amid Israeli forces killing off at least 88 Palestinians in a day across Gaza. And Australia wins Sydney Test against India by 6 wickets and clinch Border Gavaskar Trophy by 3-1. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Muhammad Yunus today addressed and witnessed the maneuver exercise of an infantry brigade at Rajbari Military Training Area. Bangladesh Army's 55 Infantry Division organized the event on the occasion of Army Maneuver Exercise 2024-25. Chief of Army Staff General Waqar Zaman, Chief of Naval Staff Admiral M. Nazmul Hassan, and Chief of Air Staff Air Chief Marshal Hassan Mahmud Khan, and GOG of 55 Infantry Division and Area Commander of Joshua Area Major General J.M. Imdadul Islam welcomed the Chief Advisor on his arrival at the venue. Professor Yunus said Bangladesh Army is the pride and trust of the nation. Training of the Army members must be realistic to achieve operational skills, courage, and professionalism, he added.
সেনাবাহিনীর মূল লক্ষ্যই হলো বিজয়ী হওয়া, দেশকে রক্ষা করা সকল পরিস্থিতিতে। বলা যাবে না এটা এখন বর্ষার দিন, এখন আর পারবো না, এখন বেশি গরম, এটা পারা যাবে না, বলার উপায় নাই। যে কোনো মুহূর্ত যে অবস্থায় আছে না কেন প্রয়োজনে যুদ্ধে ঝাঁপিয়ে পড়তে হয় পূর্ণ সাহস এবং প্রস্তুতি নিয়ে। সেটারই একটা মহড়া হলো প্রস্তুতি হিসেবে ভবিষ্যতে বাস্তব যুদ্ধে আমরা আমাদের যা করতে হবে সেটার একটা প্রস্তুতি, যাতে এটা ক্রমাগতভাবে আমরা প্রতি মুহূর্তের জন্য প্রস্তুত থাকতে পারি সেটার জন্য, এবং ক্রমাগতভাবে এটা আরো সুন্দরভাবে গড়ে উঠবে এই আশা করছি। একজন শান্তিকামী মানুষ হিসেবে আমি বরাবরই যুদ্ধের চেয়ে শান্তির মহড়া দেখতে বেশি আনন্দ বোধ করি। তবে দেশের স্বাধীনতা ও সার্বভৌমত্বের প্রশ্নে প্রস্তুতির লক্ষ্যে সামরিক বাহিনীর এই প্রশিক্ষণ অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। আজকের এই মহড়ায় বাংলাদেশ সেনাবাহিনীর প্রদর্শিত দক্ষতা অত্যন্ত প্রশংসনীয়। এই মহড়া দেখে আমি ও সেনাবাহিনী বিমান বাহিনীর সক্ষমতা সম্পর্কে আরো আত্মবিশ্বাসী হয়েছে। ভবিষ্যতে সশস্ত্র বাহিনীর এই সক্ষমতা আরো আধুনিকায়নের জন্য আমরা কাজ করে যাব। প্রশিক্ষণে সর্বোত্তম কল্যাণ এই মন্ত্রে উদ্বুদ্ধ হয়ে আধুনিক ও যুগোপযোগী প্রশিক্ষণের মাধ্যমে আভিযানিক দক্ষতা অর্জন করে দেশের সার্বভৌমত্ব রক্ষায় বাংলাদেশ সেনাবাহিনীর সদস্যগণ সর্বদা প্রস্তুত থাকবে। সেই লক্ষ্যে সেনা সদস্যদের প্রশিক্ষণ হতে হবে বাস্তবসম্মত। আমি নিশ্চিত বাংলাদেশ সেনাবাহিনীর প্রশিক্ষণের এই লক্ষ্যকে সামনে রেখেই এগিয়ে চলেছে।
During the hour-long exercise, members of Bangladesh Army equipped with state-of-the-art weapons successfully conducted the attack exercise by creating a realistic war environment. All arms and services, including various types of most recent and modern tanks, APCS, artillery guns, infantry, engineers and commandos of the Bangladesh Army participated in the exercise. The chief advisor praised the skills and high quality training of the Army members participating in the exercise. Advisors of the interim government and senior officers of the armed forces were present. Chief Election Commissioner AMM Nasiruddin said the Election Commission is committed to ensuring a free, fair, transparent, and impartial election to bring back the voting rights of people. He said this while inaugurating a training program for the individuals who will update voter list and their supervisors at Election Training Institute in the capital's Agargaon today. The CEC directed all concerned to work professionally. He went on saying that the Election Commission has to come out of old passions and all have to change their mentality and habits. Election Commissioner Brigadier General retired Abu Fazl Mohammed Sanaullah said, people want to exercise their voting rights and measures will be taken so that none can jeopardize the voting environment. Election Commissioner Alwar Islam Shorkar said, negligence and irregularities in updating voter list will not be tolerated. Election Commissioner Tahamin Ahmed said, in order to ensure a fair election, the Election Commission will work as per law. Election Commissioner Abdul Rahman Al Masood called upon all to work with transparent and sincere manners. Election Commission Secretariat's Senior Secretary Akhtar Ahmed presided over the event. Foreign Advisor Mohammad Tawhid Hussain said the country lacked adequate investment-friendly environment during the previous government. The current interim government is determined to create an investment-friendly environment to attract foreign investments, he added. The advisor said this at a seminar on Saudi-Bangladesh economic relationship at the Foreign Ministry today. At that time, Finance Advisor Dr. Saliuddin Ahmed said the fallen Sheikh Hasina government had driven away South Korean company Samsung from the airport like that of Saudi company Aramco. Saudi Arabian Ambassador Essa bin Yusuf Al Duhailan said some people in Bangladesh discourage foreign investors because of their self-resistance and interest. He alleged that world's largest oil company Aramco attempted several times to invest in Bangladesh but was not welcomed. The envoy said Saudi Arabia and Bangladesh are going through a unique relationship. The media has played a role in party politics for the last 15 years. In the proposal, the Media Reform Commission will recommend to address the compensation of the journalist who suffered due to party reasons and faced harassment cases. The head of the Media Reform Commission, Kamal Ahmed, said this during a view exchange meeting with the journalist of the divisional level held at the conference room of district administration in Chattogram today. He said, an anarchic situation has been created in the media. Policies should be formulated to resolve it. The journalists put up with their various demands to the Commission in the meeting. They said to ensure objective journalism, regular salary allowances, and security should be given to media workers, minimum professional qualifications should be determined. It has become necessary to formulate policies on who will be publishers, editors, and journalists in the newspapers. They demanded that the recruitment process of journalists should be transparent, the press council should be strengthened, and the press club should be held accountable. The head of the Reform Commission urged the journalists not to work in favor of the parties. He said, the Commission will make an effective recommendation aimed at making the media independent, strong, and objective, and the government will make it a reality. After much waiting, 2 trains finally operated on the Jamuna Railway Bridge today on a trial basis. At first, the trains crossed the bridge successfully constructed over the river Jamuna at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour at 9:20 a.m. from both east and west sides of the bridge. Later, at 10:20 a.m., two trains crossed the bridge at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour from the opposite direction. Finally, around 11 a.m., both trains crossed Jamuna Railway Bridge at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. The Appellate Division was upheld the verdict of the High Court that scrapped 4 cases against BNP's acting chairman Tariq Rahman filed on charges of extortion. The 4-member bench led by Justice Muhammad Ashfaqul Islam gave the verdict today, dismissing leave to appeal filed by the state against the High Court verdict. Additional Attorney General Anik R. Haq argued in the court in favor of the state. A number of lawyers stood for the Tariq Rahman. They are Advocate Joanal Abedin, Barrister Mahabub Uddin Khokon, Barrister Kaiser Kamal, Barrister Bodu Zohab Adul, Barrister Ruhul Quddus Kajol, Advocate Qazi Kamrul Islam Shajol, Barrister Raji Proof Chaudhary, Advocate Maqsadullah, and Advocate Ajmal Hussain Khokon. On October 23rd last year, the High Court bench of Justice A.K.M. Asaduzzaman and Justice Said Inayat Hussain scrapped the 4 cases against Tariq Rahman. Later, the state side filed leave to appeal against the High Court verdict. The 7th building of the Bangladesh Secretariat, which was severely damaged by a fire, has reopened today after 11 days. Except for the 4 burnt floors, the remaining 5 floors of the 9-story building have resumed operations. While visiting the buildings, Public Works Secretary Abdul Hamid said regular works started at the fresh floor of the building. Within 10 to 15 days, work will begin on the burnt floors. However, despite the investigation Committee's primary report demonstrating evidence of an accident, signs were sent to Indonesia and Singapore for further examination. Administration officials said that within the next 2 weeks, they will receive the report and know the specifics of the unprecedented incident. Now, international news. Israeli forces have killed at least 88 Palestinians in a day across Gaza, with women and children making up a majority of the victims. The Ministry of Afaq has condemned Israeli incursions into the Al-Aqsa Mosque, stating that Israeli authorities have allowed settlers groups to storm and defile the mosque compound, Wafa news agency reports. U.S. President Joe Biden proposes an $8 billion arms sale for Israel just 2 weeks before leaving office, ignoring widespread criticism over the mounting death toll in Gaza. Israel's Defense Minister Israel Katz confirms that in direct negotiations with Hamas has resumed in Qatar for the return of captives held in Gaza. Israel's war on Gaza has killed at least 45,805 Palestinians and wounded 109,064 since October 7, 2023. Saudi authorities have arrested more than 19,000 people in 1 week for breaching residency, work, and border security regulations. According to an official report of the kingdom, a total of 11,742 people were arrested for violations of residency laws, while 4,103 were held over illegal border crossing attempts and a further 3,354 for labor-related issues. The report showed that among the 116 people arrested for trying to enter the kingdom illegally, 46% were Yemeni, 53% Ethiopian, and 1% were the other nationalities. A further 101 people were caught trying to cross into neighboring countries, and 11 were held for involvement in transporting and harboring violators. Now, sports news. Cricket. Australia raced to victory on day 3 of the fifth test in Sydney to beat India by 6 wickets and win the fifth match series 3-1. Fast bowler Scott Boland took 6 wickets with India adding just 16 runs to their overnight score to be bowled out for 157. India took 3 wickets before lunch despite captain Jasprit Bumrah being unable to bowl because of injury. Travis Head and Beau Webster saw Australia to their target of 162 in just 27 overs to regain the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Opener Sam Constas hit 22 off 17 deliveries as Australia made a fast start to their run case, but his dismissal from a wild slog of Pradesh Krishna began at Australian wobble that saw the host also lose Marnus Lubesche